We'll keep Yone on the ban list. Now, not having to worry about some of the things that cropped up, namely the Gwen, and we'll see what Fearless is going to bring us, because I don't think the bans are going to change. Vi, Poppy, and Neferi would be the bans on the side of HLE, and Yone, Rumble, and Azir would be the bans on the other side, and it does look like we're trending in that direction.
I think you could leave the Azir open and just try and first pick it, or force HLE to ban it in this situation. I think that's an option they can go for. We'll see. Because I feel like a lot of the drafts recently have been like, okay, you leave open like two of the broken top laners, and then you slowly start to reveal more and more if you're the team on blue side. But in this situation, I think that mid laner is the one I'd be looking at. And yep. So Rumble and Best have banned. Big 4 top laner's gone. The Azir ban comes through.
Okay.
That means Poppy is the pick that was banned last time that isn't banned now. But are you going to first pick Poppy? Oh, if you first pick Kalista and Poppy's open.
I mean, you don't have to worry about Talia.
This is Ashe Poppy.
Yeah, that feels...
It's also Peanut, who's very happy with the Poppy.
Renata Poppy. You could just lock in Renata Poppy if you want to be really anti-fun. But instead,
Renata,
it's Ashe
it has
Renata.
to be close to Nico then.
Yeah, and you can actually lock, like, Raptor can just lock away the Poppy now for himself, and then you lock in the Nico, and then you're feeling very good.
Then you have the engage as well. The Nico provides that engage, so...
I kind of like it here for BNK. I feel like they dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
Okay. Will the Poppy be locked in? That's the kind of question here. Unless Vikla wants to really lock in something that he's happy to play, or they just want to get the Jax for clear. And so now, if Zeus wants a good matchup into the Jax, then they have to lock that in. Wait, isn't Poppy a decent matchup into the Jax?
Is Poppy just the answer to all of life's questions?
Yeah, I feel like that might be just the case.
Yeah.
Well, Poppy is going to be locked in.
Get the Poppy. Interesting, it got to the... I don't know.
Yeah, like, why is that a Jax?
But also, you could have taken Renata Poppy and then taken Ashe on 3.
Yeah.
You could have done that. So...
Or just not taken Ashe. I mean, Ashe is great into Kalista, don't get me wrong, but you could have taken a high priority mid lane if you would really like to. I think you still have flexibility there.
I think so too. So I think the ordering was a bit weird, but I think HLE pretty happy, and BNK FEARX had ample opportunity to not play into Poppy and didn't. Yeah. And also, I don't know if you know this, but Poppy also... He's pretty good in the Jax. I'm sure I heard that like 2 seconds ago, but I'm claiming it's my original idea.
All right. Did you have that? That might be why I thought about it afterwards.
Are you stealing my ideas?
Yeah, like from inside your brain.
Yeah,
like I'm just taking them out. But I mean, you know, you still got to say that you had the idea, and I credited you for the idea that you had. So
I appreciate you crediting me for my idea that you said first.
Yeah. So I'm sorry about stealing it from your brain.
So
Lily going to be taken away, as well as the Nocturne, as we're focusing the jungle picks. So not expecting Nico jungle here. Guess what we're going with is Nah taken away from Zeus makes a bit of sense. One last top lane ban might be coming through.
Maybe like Aatrox, just because it's Zeus, you know?
Yeah, or maybe like a mid lane, like something that they don't want Zeka playing.
Honestly,
instead,
the Nidalee ban, I respect it a lot. You don't want to play into that. It's pretty annoying.
Would it have been a choice into the Jax? Have we seen that? I feel like we may have actually seen the Nidalee.
No, I think we've seen Nidalee Scion and Nidalee Yorick. If I remember correctly.
Might have been.
Jax can at least, like, it's not going to be a fun time at all, but into range matchups, there are some windows with the ranged champion.
Oh my god.
You can jump on them. Kennen coming out, which we have not seen for a while. But
and it's Zeus on the Kennen.
Yeah.
That's very, very fun. He is the Lord of Thunder for a reason. So Kenny going to be picked up? What is the response?
They didn't opt for a mid lane. I mean, I guess they already had they already know what the top lane matchup is, but I feel like for mid lane, it's less about the counter matchup and more just like I want priority on one of the broken mid laners available.
Vikla playing Victor feels right.
It's a bit of a tongue twister.
Yeah.
And
I
now
did get twisted.
Jungle. I mean, Sejuani is banned. Zhao's gone. A lot of jungles are banned. Skana's open, but do you feel good about it? Not really.
Still going to lock it in there for Raptor.
Yeah.
Skana really hasn't had a very good time in recent games. As, yeah, the smorgasbord of champions that Zeka could play here. It is going to be the Silas picked up, and so now he's got Fate's Call to get Peanut out of dodge. He's got Pop Blossom, which is one of the best. Chaos...
Chovy.
Oh, it's actually kind of perfect. And I was actually just having a look. If Zeka wins POM, he has 300 points as well as Zeus, and then together they would equal Chovy.
There you go.
So it's actually just confirmed. Let's get onto the riff for game number 2.
소환사의 뜻대로 오신 것을 환영합니다.
The ZZ Fusion Dance. Just very cool. Anyway, let's have a look at how this one is going to go. Already a bit of a defensive start towards the bottom side of the map for B&K FEARX. And HLE actually having a little bit of an inspection as to what's going on down here. Vision already set up by both of our bottom lanes.
I'm happy to see the bot lane matchup. I feel like, you know, obviously Ashe generally has the advantage of Calista, but when you introduce the Nico into the Renata matchup, it's like there's a lot more skill expression because both sides can find an advantage.
Yeah. I do feel like Ashe is just going to have a little bit of a better time earlier on. And Viper has just been very good on these champions that do have a lot of... oh, not quite able to get there. A lot of utility.
Wait a minute.
What's that?
Why does Clear have 3 gold?
Oh, he went fishing.
Oh.
That's what you got to do.
That's so broken.
Oh, dude, it's based. That's what you got to do. The Jax always spends the first minute and a half of the game just fishing. And then he spends the rest of the game having a horrible time. The matchup into the Kennen has never really been a fantastic time. Electrocute as well has been taken here by Zeus. I was wondering what he was going to do because he could have gone for the full lane setup as well. Zeka doesn't exactly have the greatest of times in this.
Kind of glad it's not the AD Kennen though.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
You know, if you had lethal tempo, then I'd be like, ugh.
And Zeus hasn't been one to go for that. It's more of a Kingin thing. Is the AD Kennen. It's alright, Kellen's not going to be finding too much joy there. Level 2's gained on both sides. A real jostling as that was happening. Diablo just realizing the sadness of playing into an Ashe as the heal is popped aggressively. The HLE unable to really find an avenue in, where just he's continuing to fish. Oh wait, no, this
was from level 1.
The replay. Yeah.
This is so you know where the gold came from. This is thank you very much. So you can see the live evidence of the 3 gold.
Zeka just playing right on the edge and he picks up first blood. How did that even happen? Look at Vicla's face. It's like, what the heck?
Guys.
And I was thinking the same thing. I thought he was in turret range, but he wasn't.
Sometimes matchups are supposed to go a certain way and they just go the other way. I mean, that should not be happening. I think that's credit to Zeka's proficiency on Silas.
Oh, wait.
Good start.
Do you know there is actually a positive thing that comes out of this?
Hit me.
So, like, that's not how that matchup is supposed to go. So maybe there's hope for top lane Diana.
Yeah.
Because that also didn't go very well.
Yeah.
Well, Vicla's back, does have teleport, and is going to be able to get the cannon.
Oh, but they both TP back, and Zeka got Dark Seal, Ruby Crystal, and Vicla got a refillable potion control ward. Oh boy. Yeah, this is why I wasn't feeling so optimistic about the Skarner. I don't think you can blame Skarner for what happened there, but
no. Well, now you might be able to thank Skarner for making your lane feel a little bit better. Obviously, Zeka was never going to die.
Zeka just presses W and heals up a lot of the damage that was done.
Oh. I mean, I'm trying to find the positive. Wait, maybe he just dies in a 1v2. Oh my god! He still gets the crash. Vikler has moved over here, and Zeka unable to get on top of the Skarner now. He's eaten through the potion. These autos not quite working. He lands the chain. Has the Kingslayer, flashes over as the chain lash connects, and he dies. But that was way too close.
I swear, if they had lost that, if either of them had gone, if both of them had gone down,
I mean, the game would have been over.
The season might have been over. I don't think you can recover
the
from that.
The LCK may have imploded.
Oh, but they managed to hold. So we'll see this play coming out. I mean, just a level 3's hit. Everything connects, gets to auto weave so well on top of like the auto weave's mid animation.
Yeah, man.
And then here he's just like, you know what? I'm feeling myself. And he nearly did it.
I mean, Raptor had to flash crash him in order to make that play work.
Maybe the play would have been, he didn't have cooldowns, which is why he didn't go for it, but maybe flashing on a Raptor at the end could have been the play. And then flashing in the bush. That control ward also, by the way.
They had a ward over both sides, so they would have known which way he was going regardless.
Jesus.
Oh my god. And so even though he died, I know that he has put way too much fear into being Cade. Yeah, it's not FEARX, it's Fear O.
I just think it's one of these situations where when that happens like 30 minutes into the game and it's a level 17 Silas, fair enough. But when it's a level 4-5 Silas and he has a Ruby Crystal and an empty Dark Seal and he's doing that, it puts fear into you, puts fear into a man.
I'm frightened, and I'm not even in the game. We're just watching. All right, Zeka with the wave in a pretty good spot. Vikla understanding he's not allowed to walk up, and at least he has actually done that. Zeus, as is Kenny, going to be just throwing these autos around. I believe that's Nogari's skin there as well. Very, very cute one. Very much like the 2020 Damwon Kennen skin. There's Delight clearing out some vision, and we've just got the casual bot lane to topside switch. Trying to play around these grubs potentially. As they have just spawned, Raptor is already over there. Gravity Field going to be coming on through as Zeka throws down his Chaos Storm that he stole away from Vikla.
Yeah, Zeka getting 6 first and playing priority.
Peanut not actually able to stop Raptor from going over the wall there. It's not a dash, it is just a drive.
The wall slam was on cooldown already, so the wall forced him away, and I think the big thing is how Zeka played it, hit level 6 first, ulted Vikla to force him back, force him low HP, and then able to move over and secure all 3 grubs. So pretty nice, and especially since they're not traded, I think HLE very happy with that.
Yeah. Monopoly on the grubs is scary when you've got side lanes like this. Mainly just looking at Zeka, to be honest, as Peanut going to be discovered by Kellen. But not too much else, just some weird noises. As another gravity well comes down, Keeper's Verdict not going to hit Kellen, but does get a heal out, so at least they get something. I mean, somehow that handshake landed.
That hit Kellen, that's just Diablo dead. They just dive immediately after, so pretty nice that he was able to dodge away from that one.
All right, clear going in. Zeus with the answer immediately. As there's the flash in onto Vikla. Zeka gets on over. The gravity field not going to quite work. And even though Zeka hits the chain onto a minion, it doesn't matter because he closed the gap. And down goes the Victor one more time. Heal comes out from HLE as now Viper is just shooting these arrows into Diablo. The flash after him, and he's got the bailout. He's definitely getting this kill. And now Kellen might be going down as well. Raptor able to do a bit of a drive-by just to keep the Nico alive. But this is going a little bit too heftily in HLE's favor. As now, Clear looking for a bit of an angle. The Slicing Maelstrom just to buy some space. And the Grandmaster's not looking as mighty up against this cannon right now.
Yeah, I mean, maybe needed a real weapon if he was going to be able to take that one.
Oh, he probably should. He did bring his fishing rod, though. We know that.
Yeah, I mean, the extra 3 gold seemingly not making enough of a deal.
Oh my god. Okay, that's the other summoner spell that Kellen had.
Yeah.
That's on cooldown. Golly.
You know, we've seen some clusters go the more poke focus build with like Halo Blades, with like Q-Max.
Yep.
I think in this matchup, it makes it a lot easier to trade in. Because you saw there when they're having that 2v2, Diablo was trying to kite backwards but wasn't really able to auto-attack Viper. And I think it just, the trade patterns off, like typically Callisto wants extended trades, but you can't really do that against Ashe Renata. And with the Nico, like the burst is really where you're favored. So I think maybe that avenue would have been more favorable.
Yeah, the problem is it doesn't get better as you get to skirmishes and team fights, right? Because then you got Slicing Maelstrom, you also can't hop around in one of those.
Yeah.
You need more than one cleanse. And you might get like a Mikhail's.
I just think the points in Q go a long way. You know, it was a while ago they buffed that to make it a lot more viable.
Oh, right. Yeah, no. If he went the lethality build, I'd like that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it doesn't really get much better with the on-hit variety.
Yeah.
As Vikla at least has Grasp, so he's going to have more and more health.
Oh no.
Oh, Kellen maybe should give him the opportunity to pop blossom. As now, HLE going to be able to fight around this dragon relatively effectively. They already have one part of the Feat of Strength as well, so this will get them to Feat of Strength point.
I feel like Zeka just won't even register. It's just like it's by instinct. The Nico comes on screen and he just grabs Yell. He's like, oh yeah. And then immediately you're like, yeah, do we want to fight? Perhaps not. Perhaps we don't want to fight into that.
Well, it is just going to be the dragon secured by Peanut. Not too much else going to come out of it. Zeka not going to get stunned up by the gravity well. And in fact, just not too worried about anything at all. He's now got an Impale, because I believe he must have used the... Wait, does it just the picture change whenever like Nico transforms?
Yeah, so it's...
God, that is so annoying.
It's very fake.
Oh, goodness. Okay, well, There are multiple Skarnas running around, multiple Skarna ultimates available, but they're all Pop Blossoms, apparently. Apart from this one. This one's an Impale. Let's see whether Raptor can actually find an angle to use it.
Zeus does have ult and flash, so I wouldn't think it'd be too easy. Drops the controller down, definitely senses something.
Yeah, he's playing super defensively. Very respectful of the potential gank on this top side. Understandably so there as well.
You know, it wasn't that long ago that they made it so Kennen could do damage to minions with his ult.
Yeah.
I think it made it so he's a lot harder to dive, because you can just ult and nuke the wave immediately.
Ooh, Raptor trying to find an angle here, like ships in the night. Him and Peanut will move away from one another as the grubs spawn. Peanut throws down the control ward and has absolutely no idea that the Skarna was here. Arrow just going to throw him underneath the turret. The Impale comes through, but the hostile takeover is already there. Delight trying to keep himself alive, but it's not going to work out as Viper at least softening them up a whole lot with this volley. And I don't think Peanut can actually stick around here, able to at least get one of these as Zeka is towards the bottom side of the map, grabbing plates. And Delight goes down, but I think it was a noble sacrifice once again. Good down. And Kellen and Raptor will be able to grab the scraps here.
I mean, just a sneaky play from Raptor. You know, Peanut being on the top side, I think Viper and Delight felt very safe. In fairness to them, super fast reactions to try and prevent that play from happening, but unfortunately, the Skarna just too many tools in the kit.
Yep. And now 20 CS is the advantage for Zeka. He also got himself a bunch of money. Is now clear his face check, and I don't know about this one. Zeka is already way too strong. Teleports come in from Zeus, and he wants to really kill him. Chain Lash comes on down as Pop Blossom going to get pulled back and still does manage to get a knock-up, but it's not exactly the play we wanted to see. Viper does have the bailout, and BNK just kind of flubbed that one, you could say.
Yeah, oh no.
Oh dear. Clear is dead, ladies and gentlemen, and there is no way for him to get out. That's going to spell the end of the turret. That's going to be some feats of strength going on over the HLE. Some upgraded shoes are going to be the least of BNK's worries, though, because Diablo is just going to get thrown into the wall and murdered.
Yeah, uses the cleanse as well.
Oh dear.
It feels like this game is quickly spiraling out of control. HLE just getting more and more advantages, and you know, I never really saw an avenue for this Callisto to play the game, but especially not now.
Yeah. It's not, yeah. And I think that things were getting more and more difficult after the first blood went over to Zeka in a solo kill into the Victor. But it's not even just that that's the problem. It's the fact that this Kennen has also had a great time in lane. He's 1,000 gold ahead. And Viper and Delight are on champions that are in a really good matchup in the 2v2, and we haven't really seen very much of that, right? They are kind of just there for utility oftentimes, and it's just don't die and, you know, be a part of the team later on in the game. This is a time where they can really thrive, and they have shown that they definitely still can.
And I think now you're at a point where, you know, BNK FEARX's composition is relatively short range. They have decent engage tools, but you're into Poppy, Renata, Kennen, and even a Silas with the all options you can steal. I think it's going to become even more painful from here on out when you're trying to set up or contest objectives.
Yep.
And there's so many tools that just make your life hell trying to find and engage.
And it's a Skarna draft as well, right? So you are going to be lacking damage a little bit if the 80 carry is entirely muted. And that is precisely what has happened here. A lot on Clear's shoulders, I guess, to try and get something done, but there's a lot on everyone's shoulders. And speaking of which, okay, Arrow is going to at least mitigate the pullback, and Delight is absolutely fine, as it turns out.
Yeah, I mean, that was Flash from Raptor as well, so great ult from Viper, although he just loses his own Flash. But the fact that no one goes down, I think HLE happy with that one.
Oh my goodness, this tower is going to go down. That's going to move into a 6,000 gold lead at 14 minutes. The plates are just falling, and that one goes down a second before they fall off. And Raptor not actually even capable of getting on in there as the Chain Lash. Every time Zeka is abducting and absconding, I get a little bit nervous because every time he's aiming those chains at a bad guy.
Yeah. Well, drag it up in 10 seconds, and I think it's so hard to see an out being FEARX. An avenue to get back to this game, but I guess you have to just play around picks. You know, you burn Viper's Flash.
Oh, that's a flash in from Clear. He's going for it, but he will get stunned up again. The dash cannon is done as Zeus. Oh, he was thinking about it. The flash! And he just kills him with a W. Oh, you do not challenge the God of Thunder. on his champion of choice. Is now this could be a pick-off onto Delight, but he actually finds the handshake. The immediate response is just gorgeous, as Zeus doesn't really offer too much help. He gets the bailout, and let's see whether it's actually going to work out here as Peanut goes in, but it's not going to be enough. Kellen likely to go down, and he does. Still a good trade, though, as Diablo still hopping towards the Poppy. 2 on the floor on both sides. Zeka now moving on up, and if you trade evenly, you trade up if you're losing. Oh, never mind. You don't trade evenly. There's the Fate's Call. That's going to pull back Peanut. As we know, it is often the junglers. And just Diablo might actually get something done here. Okay, we're flashing, and Peanut is just dead.
I am just so disappointed, not with Peanut at the end, but that the Fate's Call is on Peanut.
Right. I mean, it did help them in that instance because Zeus was very dead.
Yep, you know, it helped in that specific instance, but
oh, he was on a wood. Okay, Zeka does have the Kingslayer. There is the flash, going to be used to get out of the Impale.
I think there was a way you could have angled it where, I mean, I guess it's so slow, you would have been able to flash it anyway, but I think you could have angled it to be more towards where you might flash.
Ooh, look at that, Clear just wanted to fish. He's now going to find yet another counter-strike, but it's stun for stun here in this matchup, and Zeus is looking pretty comfy. Oh, Kellen, though.
I think Zeus is dead now.
Okay,
now
there it is. Tanglebubs is going to hold him in place. He does have his ulti. Arrow is sailing down as well, and it's going to crash directly into Clear. He gets himself the counter-strike, but unfortunately, it's still going to be the end of the Jax. And Zeus, he's just back to farming.
That was a pretty good counter-strike from HLE. A little bait play coming out, and Kellen trying to find an angle, but unfortunately unsuccessful, and then Clear is having a disaster.
Yeah.
Diablo and Kellen had that nice play on the top side, but I just think things are starting to slip away from them more and more.
A little bit of spiraling perhaps happening, but there is a lot of craziness happening on this map as well. It's not a perfect game, you know, we're not having that conversation. BNK still able to grab 5 kills so far. Some fast and loose League of Legends, and no better Dragon Soul to augment it than the Hex Tech. And we've got a Ruinous Artican as well, so this is going to be some fun. As Delight moving up towards his top side, his Renata has been absolutely fantastic. I'm just so used to saying Delight and Rakan in the same sentence that I slipped there momentarily. But this is a lot of hands checking each other.
Yeah. It's just HLE. I feel like this is how a lot of their games go.
Yep. The Space mentioned it. They play to their opposition.
But even BNK FEARX, right? Diablo and Kellen have found so many 2v2 kills. It's no surprise that they were looking for more. And that play did end up working out pretty well. But it's still a sore position for the game to be in, especially, I feel like, I mean, maybe Jax is due a reset, but when I look at the top laner having just one item, just the Triforce, and then Zeus is approaching his second.
Yeah, Shadow
little
Flame
bit
almost
concerning.
done.
Yeah.
Level advantage there as well. And honestly, as far as like 0-3 top lanes are concerned, Clear has actually found some decent angles, and then unfortunately has just gotten outplayed in almost every single one of them. That Ash Arrow being a real clincher as far as that is concerned. And yeah, buffs being stolen away left, right, and center. HLE with those 3 turrets that they have already taken, making the map feel very, very small here for BNK, as they haven't been able to get these waves shoved out at all. And even Raptor's jungle is being taken away by his own top laner, who's not allowed to lane against this cannon.
Shameful moves by Clear.
Yeah, it's desperate times. And HLE have been on about a 5,000 gold lead for the majority of this game. Is what it kind of feels like.
Yeah.
Like from that first blood, it's like 5,000 gold lead. It wasn't exactly that, but it's what it's kind of felt like.
You know, if you round up to 5,000, there was a 5,000 gold lead.
Gold leads are also relative, sorry.
Yeah.
To the amount of gold that everyone just has in general. As my god, Zeus has been doing a lot of damage. Do you reckon this guy's pretty good at Kennen?
I would say so. But also, you play Kennen to a melee champion, you are just going to get a lot of damage down.
True.
But yeah, he's definitely been doing work.
So there's that, and then there's also the he's Zeus thing.
Also, wait, so Zeka is on 9 stacks of Rod of Ages.
And on Silas.
But he's already a level up.
My god. Okay, so then he's going to be 2 levels up, and he's going to hit level 16 relatively soon, I guess.
Yeah, and
Take a
wouldn't
bit
it
of
be
time.
cool if you could steal the level 16 Calista ult, which has a longer knockup, by the way. It actually, the knockup duration goes
I didn't
up.
know that. I thought
Yeah.
it's mainly just cooldown.
No, the knockup duration goes up, and then you can use it on your Oh wait, you didn't put it on Kennen.
Wait, you
put it on Poppy.
Can't you redo it though?
No,
You can't just go and get the little thing back and then kill him again?
no,
I thought you could do that.
no. Once you've committed it, you can't.
Ah.
Otherwise, every game, like, you'd have it on your support, and then you'd be like, you know what? I want it, like, you could switch it. If you were like Calista Renata this game, you could switch it from Renata to Kennen. That'd be kind of OP.
That would actually be super sick. I don't know why I always thought that you could switch them over. There you go.
Yeah, now if you look at Zeka, level 15, and Vikla, 13. And it is a full 2 levels. Not like, you know, when it's gimmicky and it's like, oh, it's actually a level and like a 10th, but it's just because one of them is 13 and nearly 14. No, it's 2 full levels.
Can they kill him? That's the question. Pop Blossom is going to at least knock him up. There's the Impale connecting as well. He does manage to get the ulti off, but I don't know whether it's going to be enough to keep him alive. It will be in trade for this Ruinous Archon on the top side of the map, and the Rift Herald is going to be employed just to take this inner turret on the bottom side. That is a lot of extra money going over to B&K FEARX.
I mean, I think it's the right play. I think you have to do something. You're not going to fight them at Archon, but this does not feel nice to give over the Ruinous Archon. When you're already down in experience...
Oh, we're driving. We're driving.
A little bit.
Oh, and he gets another charge. There we go. And that turret's going to go down. So that's 3 turrets. Okay. Getting some money back.
And Peanut's just killing all the flowers.
Yeah, I mean, ignore this. The pedal advantage is going to be absurd.
Yeah, and a good amount of XP. Zeka is almost level 16. But still, all things considered, that was a great play from B&K FEARX. You win fighting them.
Yeah.
At the Archon. You needed something. That was a massive influx of gold, especially with the objective bounties. So I think ultimately you make the play you can, and that is a play they can and did make.
Yes, they did. They now do have the reality of being 2 levels behind in every lane except AD carry.
Well, Nico can pretend to be someone else who's higher level.
There we go.
If
okay.
Nico pretends to be Zeka,
that's going to balance it out. Zeka is going to show how strong he is at level 15 by fighting Raptor momentarily, but he gets smashed into the wall. Fate's Call comes out here from Diablo just to keep him CC'd, and Zeka does go golden. Those sticks are getting dangerous as he does find himself an Impale, and he's got the bailout there as well. It will get procced as now Diablo's in trouble. He's taking so much damage, but he will actually keep himself alive. And now Vikla having to deal with Viper, throws down the gravity field, as now Clear will get the flash out from Viper, and B&K, they find the angle.
Diablo's just clean with it, kiting like an absolute beast. I was like, yeah, maybe the lethality Calista would have worked better. I take back what I said. He was so clean in that fight. Typically a situation would expect them to struggle, and suddenly that gold lead, 1,000 the difference. And Peanut, once again, is just off doing his thing. Zeka opted into this.
Yeah.
And then they just didn't have the members or the tools available to deal with this Calista, who kites away from the ult. For the Monada, manages to dodge the Impale from Zeka, dashes to him, gets the Rend, and then able to kite out of the Kennen ult, finishes him off. And then here, I think Claire does a fantastic job here. The best 0-3 Jax I've ever seen.
Right?
Gets the stun at the end to secure it.
Finishes him off. Really beautifully played here by B&K FEARX, and it just shows you're never out of it until you're out of it. You know, you really do need that Nexus to explode to really determine the end of a game. As we're fighting once again, Pop Blossom entirely whipped there by Kellen, as the rest of HLE trying to get over here, but Peanut is just dead. He says, guys, I was here this time. And as it turned out, it didn't matter because Zeka wasn't, neither was Viper.
Okay, so B&K FEARX got a good amount of XP from those kills. They've actually closed the gap in a lot of areas. But more importantly, they got an absurd amount of gold from those kills and towers. Yeah. And they are now even in gold.
Yeah, so...
See that gold grab. One conditional thing is, though, HLE have Ruinous and then 1 Dragon from Soul. So...
all right, Viper not going to be able to sidestep that one, as Raptor pulls him in, and Diablo just dancing towards him. That's a dead Viper once again. So now a gold lead for B&K FEARX. And, what am I watching?
Some great League of Legends from one team, and HLE really dropping the ball.
My goodness. Okay, well now, Yeah, this isn't in the script. What we do at this point in time is we're going to have a look at this and how it all started as Peanut was just kind of driven back by Raptor.
Yeah, and the ult ends up hitting the Victor, but it just doesn't really matter. Even tries to get the slam onto Kellen there and gets interrupted. And then here, Raptor just 2 times in a row set up these great plays. And the slow that comes out from the boulder as well ensures that Diablo can catch up.
Yeah, the Jax had the inside track there as well, so Viper was definitely dead no matter what. At least he holds on to his barrier. As now HLE, probably aware of the fact that they are now behind. 4 turrets to 3. It's actually an advantage here for BNK FEARX. The kills are still an advantage of them as well. And it's the fact that it's this Ruinous Archon, the Soul Point available as well for HLE. I mean, there are a lot of things that do put them still in the lead, but this is so winnable.
I mean, it all comes down to that dragon. If HLE secured, it's such a boon that unless the game immediately ends because they lose the fight, they're just going to probably win off the back of that. So I love that BNK FEARX are playing around the Baron and trying to set that up as the main objective.
And 3 items now done. Terminus in, as well as a Giant's Belt from Diablo. This guy is absolutely huge. Viper is still trying to put together another item. We're going to have a look at it here. And yeah, he's got a couple of attack speed things, some Unitiles and some Phantom Dancer, but otherwise, Viper is not having a great showing, or at least not feeling so good about exactly this point in the game. The early game was actually great. A lot of these arrows, brilliant, all that sort of stuff. But Diablo, he's 8-2.
It's the fact that Viper finished his second item just after Diablo had just the Blade Ruin King. And now it's a whole item lead in the other direction.
Yeah, it's nuts. The amount of money that he made off those kills is ridiculous. As Raptor looking for more once again, he will pick up the Poppy and deliver Peanut to his team. He is pretty tanky, able to heroically charge his way out, but does have to invest the flash in order to do so. Okay, Zeka still has a lead, so does Zeus. Outside of that, BNK FEARX are once again just... they're feeling fine.
I think I have two win cons for HLE. You got a dragon.
Got it.
You kill Diablo. If you want to win the fight, you kill Diablo. If you want to try and win the game, you get the dragon. But it's going to be difficult to approach, especially with no flash on Peanut. They are starting to make moves. That's one thing, though. BNK FEARX, they've equalized in terms of gold, overtaken even. But the objective focus is still going to be around this next dragon. Right now, TP coming in. This is a huge point from Kennen. Zesh, level 16, just picked up a Void Staff. He is very strong.
Oh my goodness, this flank angle as well is so scary. Clear will be able to spot him out, but Zeus also spots out. What the heck was that? Okay, Zeus is terrifying. We knew that already. Let's see whether BNK can actually find a team fight that they can win. As there is the ulti that is going to get rid of the Callista. She's not in the fight. Down goes Kellen. It is the dragon secured by BNK. Viper is free hitting though. And now Vikla gets closed in on by Zeka to flash over the wall, but the Q connects from Zeus, sorry. He grabs a double as he'd already dealt with Clear in the 1v1. And HLE, I think they've stopped with the funny business. It's time for Baron and maybe they want to actually win this game.
Yeah, Peanut ult there was huge. Doesn't manage to get the smite in the end, but the thing is, you're the ones who are one away from Soul. Yes, getting Hextech Soul would be massive, but at the end of the day, you win the fight as a result of this ultimate. So we obviously saw Zeus chunking out Clear on the bot side, but Peanut dodges away from the CC, and then this ult targeting here. Kellen flies in, Gabble doesn't expect to get launched away, and then even though the smite misses, without your Callista, what are you?
Yeah. And the Pop Blossom did a fair bit of work. The hostile takeover did absolutely nothing, but it honestly did not matter. It was all about the numbers advantage that HLE were able to create for themselves, and it just shows that as long as you get a good Keeper's Verdict in a fight, a Poppy composition will probably just win.
Yep.
It's not very fair. Delight able to finish off that crab as the Baron is now circulating around HLE, and they've moved into a gold lead once again. 1800 going to be that Rebel Baron power play.
50 petals to 17, so that's a good amount of extra stats as well.
Yeah.
For HLE. And I think ultimately you want to use this Baron to get the game into a position where the next dragon is yours in the bag. Right now, so I've got to be a little bit cautious, but they're pushing on the top side. All those outer towers are still up and available and represent a good amount of gold, but also just space on the map. If you can kind of put BNK FEARX into a position where they're cautious to leave their base, it can be devastating, but they're not even in position to defend.
Oh, Arrow is actually going to stop the back. And so now, Raptor is forced to stick around, or at least I think that was Raptor. It's kind of hard when there's a Nico on the map. As Kellen, he was actually there. He's looking for a flank angle as Raptor is now just going to waddle his way over.
Oh, TP's coming in.
Yeah. Can Kellen get this Pop Blossom to work out? He doesn't have flash. It's going to be hard. As now Raptor gets closed in on. There is just impales happening all over the place. A decent Pop Blossom does come on through as Diablo fighting against Zeus. Zeus goes gold and McClear gets into position. There's the Mikhails onto the cannon. And now Diablo nowhere near. And Clear does not have the counter-strike. So it's a double kill to go over to Viper. And I think HLE have decided to stop with the weird play and decided to just win.
Seems like that's the way. There's a lot of wave clear from Vikla though. And Diablo being there as well is still a threat. We'll see what they can do, but this is a tall task, 2v5.
Yep, the Pierce is actually going to stop that one as Heroic Charge doesn't land. As far as the stun is concerned, another Fate's Call to come on through here as, Zeko's trying to read the flash. Vikla is likely just dead as Viper's flash forward, and he picks up the kill onto Diablo. Kellen respawns, the Nexus turrets are going down, and HLE, oh man, it got a little bit weird in the middle there, but ultimately are able to get the 2-0 over B&K FEARX and will end this round robin after a bit of time. We are just waiting. The minions have all been taken down. I was on a big old spiel. Finally, the next